All right. Well, I don't have a computer in front of me, so you let me know what the subjects are. I've looked at everything you put up, so you just let me know.
Yeah, I'm going to do it now. We're about to go on YouTube, so give me a second. Okay, we're nearly ready. Give me a second. Slow. Hello. How are you, Spencer?
I'm all right on yourself.
Right, we're live now then. I'm all right, yeah. Right,
All
let's
right,
start with
y'all can hear me,
Austin
right?
Trout signs a multi-fight deal with. Yeah, I can hear. Yeah, I can hear. I can hear all of it. Austin Trout signs a multi-fight deal with bare knuckle fighting championship. What do you guys think
Well,
about
he can
this?
make. I think he's going to make money. That's all. It's about money. What else is new?
Yeah, I guess he ran his course with regular boxing because that's bare knuckle, right?
Yep.
So I don't know how he would fare in that. They're
Mm.
they're eager to have him. You know, he's probably a good name to have under that banner.
Well, it's still boxing, but it's a little bit different, but not that much. Your hands, uh, and well, we spoke about this before. The head trauma is less, but you have more broken noses and things
Yeah,
like that, and you can't hit as hard
Mm.
because you don't have pads,
right. You
right?
don't have right. You run the risk of breaking your fingers and your knuckles and things like that.
Yeah, all of that stuff. So it's a little less prone to brain trauma.
Yeah. Oh, speaking
Yeah.
of which, I don't know if y'all put it up, but the guy that Morrell had fought and had to go into a coma, he was
Yeah.
taken out of the coma.
Oh, good. He survived then.
Mm.
Yeah, he's off of the coma. He's out of the
That's
coma.
great.
So
Good.
anyway,
Marty.
Brilliant news.
Well, that's good news. I'm
In
glad to
other
hear that.
words, in other news, Zanibet beats Bentley on point. It was it on points he beat him.
Yeah, he did, but it was a tough
Or did
fight.
he stop him? I didn't.
No, he didn't stop him, but it was a tough fight. The guy was very tough.
it was more shocking
Yeah.
than everybody believed. Everybody believed that Bentley was on the level of Diggum, the guy that Janabek had just beat. You know,
Uh-huh.
that they was
Yeah.
about the same level and it would have been like a repeat performance. But Bentley came to fight.
Mm.
It took him maybe 2 or 3 rounds before he really started like saying like I'm coming here to fight. I'm not just coming to sit down.
Yeah.
But once he started getting into it, he gave him a good showing.
He could take a punch too. He took a
Yeah.
good punch. He
Yeah.
looked like he was going a couple
From
of times, but he didn't fall.
what I saw, like, if you can't beat if you can't beat a British level guy convincingly, then what does that really say about you? It doesn't mean it means you're shit. It means you're not really that
No,
good. That's what it
wait,
means.
wait a minute. Wait a minute. Did
Come
you
on,
see the
you
fight?
know.
Did you see it? Did you see it? Nathan, did you see the fight?
I did, yeah, I did. Bentley's not a good fighter. He's not a good fighter. He's a British level guy.
Well, I
People need
wouldn't.
to wake up. This Janabet,
I,
if he was any good, he would have knocked him out.
I don't think
Wake up.
that it was. I think he did dominate him overall. The guy was. It was hard for him to get the guy out. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, I may have gave Bentley more than the two. I think they only gave one of the judges only gave him 2 rounds. I might have gave Bentley more than that. But yeah, Janovic won the fight. But like Nathan was saying, his reputation,
Below.
his his reputation was him being the boogeyman of the
If
middleweight
you're, if
division.
you've got
Nobody,
any, I'll put it to you bluntly. If you have any talent in boxing at all, these are Bentley. These are sort of guys you knock out and you make a show of them. You make an example of them, to show the world what you're really about. And that just doesn't fill me with a lot of confidence, really.
With the fight, I'm gonna say this. With the fight, right? Janabek did not look like a boogeyman of the division, as a lot of people was making him out to be. Like people were scared of him. Andrade was ducking him, and things like that. Now he might have been too tough of a fight for the reward for some of the bigger guys. The bigger guys don't want to fight a no-name guy. They're waiting for big paychecks and stuff. So them passing on Janabek might have been just that, not a sense of being fearful or afraid of him, or ducking a guy. It might have not been a lucrative fight for them. And based off of what we've seen against Bentley, he's not looking as if he's scaring anybody really fighting.
Well, that may make more people be willing to match with him too,
Yeah.
Which is a good thing. Because
that's definitely a good thing for him. Yeah. It's definitely a good thing for him because he might get a Charlo willing to fight him now.
Yeah.
Especially since he has a title now. People might be like, all right, I think I could take that belt from him.
Yep. Just like Ryan Garcia thinks he could beat Tank.
Yeah. I mean, more power to him. Just like I think it might be a similar situation. Danny Jacobs, he kind of decided to fight Triple G once he seen Kell Brook have a little bit of success and was like, you know what, I think I could get to the guy. So he was more willing to fight Triple G at that moment. And that might be a case with Janabek. Like people might have seen him like, okay, I think I could get to him. He couldn't get Bentley out of there. I don't think he could get me out of there. Might be what some of the guys are saying.
Exactly.
That could be the mindset for sure.
Well, moving on. In other news,
because I think before we leave Janabek, wait, Nathan, before we leave Janabek, because I think Carlos Adames, they named Carlos Adames as his mandatory, Janabek's mandatory, and if that's the case, I think Adames might take that. Like they'll sacrifice him to go to get the belt from Janabek.
Well, that'll be a good one though.
Yeah, that'd definitely be a good one. Adames is pretty decent. Excuse me.
That's okay. So what were you going to say, Nathan?
Right. Can I continue?
Please.
In other news, Ricky Hatton fought against Marco Antonio Barrera in a pretty dull exhibition fight. Did anybody watch this?
I watched some of it, and it was pretty dull, but Ricky looked better than Marco did.
Oh, yeah, he did. He looked good.
Yeah.
But it just looked like two old guys in there, really, and that's it. I wasn't in... They
were going easy on each other. They didn't want to hurt each other.
It's an exhibition fight. We wasn't...
Yeah, but Mike Tyson looked better than that in his exhibition fight.
Well, Ricky Hatton ain't no Mike Tyson.
That's it.
He's a small man.
Or he wasn't a Floyd Mayweather either,
No, he wasn't.
Or Manny Pacquiao.
It was nice to see him in there, but I'm just thinking I'm glad he retired when he did. Yeah. I mean, really.
Yeah, it was the smart move.
No, he looked good. He looked good. Don't get me wrong. But I don't want him to have any more exhibition fights because he didn't look that good.
Or if he does fight again, let it only be exhibition fights. Don't be trying to think he could go into a real fight after this.
Yeah,
if he was to fight Floyd Mayweather, the same thing would happen, but 10 times quicker. Seriously, there's got to be a limit to this exhibition. I mean, and also moving on to exhibitions, Floyd Mayweather destroys Deji. He wasn't even trying in there. He knocked her out in the 5th round because Deji did a couple of press-ups. Did anybody watch this rubbish?
I
It
Seen the
didn't.
was funny
highlights.
to see Floyd make him, yeah. But it was entertaining to see Floyd make him look like an idiot. That was funny.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he did get hit once pretty hard. Floyd did. He had a mouse under his
Yes.
eye. But it was what it is. You can't put an amateur guy in there like that and expect him, to be able to be competitive with Floyd. Floyd carries these guys and then he unloads.
Yep. That's what I
Yeah.
say.
That's what he does. And he has no mercy
But
when he does. When he goes after it, he goes after it.
really, there's no entertainment in it. I don't see the entertainment in it. It's like going in there with a guy who is a UFC fighter and Floyd fighting a UFC fighter. There's no fairness and it makes no sense.
Well, we've seen him do that before.
Yes.
James Tony, oh my God, yeah. I think we're at the stage where we have to ask ourselves, how long before somebody gets seriously hurt in that? It could have gone terribly wrong.
Yeah, I don't think Floyd wasn't hitting him that hard. The guy was covered up and he was hitting him, but he wasn't going all out. He doesn't want to hurt his hands.
Yeah,
But,
Floyd got brittle hands. He's not knocking people out like he's Deontay Wilder or somebody like that.
Yeah.
He
Right. That Japanese guy he fought, where he knocked him out in one round, was a more formidable challenger than this Deji guy.
But you got to think that all of these guys are combat sports guys. Like they might not be boxers, but their bodies are getting hit in
tough
whatever
guys.
sport.
But Deji is no champion of any level. He wouldn't even win an amateur tournament. He's that bad. I mean, terrible.
Yeah, me personally, I don't really pay too much attention to Floyd's exhibition fights. None of the exhibition fights really, because it's really just an exhibition. It's not. I don't think none of the guys are going into these fights trying to show their best. Anyway,
well, when he
go ahead, Tom.
Sorry. No, when he fought Paul though, Paul was going for it, so he had to go for it too.
No. I was gonna add that they might try to impress against Floyd, but I don't think like Floyd is worrying about bringing his best. Like, oh, I got to make sure that I'm at the top of my game. Where we're gonna see like a great performance from Floyd. We're gonna see enough that he beats these guys that he's supposed to beat. He might make it entertaining by letting these guys get off a little bit,
but Jake Paul would give him a better fight than that, Deji. Seriously.
Yeah, Jake Paul is also like 30 pounds bigger than him and like
really?
3-4 inches taller than Floyd.
Oh, exactly. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, so you're right. That would probably be a more closely related, like closely competitive fight, more competitive fight than the other ones. But still, I still think Floyd has more skills that he'll be able to beat him.
Floyd could protect himself.
Yeah.
And don't think he doesn't train for these things. He does.
Real stuff because. Let me go to this.
What's next?
I'm sick of talking about YouTubers. Right.
Well, let's go on.
Hergovic has been ordered to fight Usyk for the IBF. So this throws a spanner in the works. Hergovic has said he doesn't want any step beside him and he wants his fucking knockdown. That's what he basically said.
I mean, there's a few things that can happen here. Like Usyk could just drop the IBF belt, not fight Hergovic, and go after Fury next. And then after that fight, whoever's the winner could fight Hergovic or IBF. If Usyk drops the IBF belt, Hergovic might have to fight somebody. That somebody might be AJ, whereas you might get an AJ winning the IBF title. And then you might get a Fury if he beats Usyk to be Fury versus AJ for undisputed. Like there's so many different things that don't really it puts a spanner in the fight happening next, undisputed happening next. But it's still a short path to undisputed.
Yeah, I think people want to see what they want to see. I don't think they care about the belts anymore. They want to see Fury and Usyk.
Yeah,
So,
that's what I'm saying.
that,
Like, regardless of
you know,
what, yeah,
exactly.
if he drops the belt, people still gonna demand Usyk versus Fury.
Yeah. Gone are the days of one belt champions. That's one in the after the Terrell fight, Terrell and Ali. That's when we started having two different belts.
Yeah, because it was that was Terrell is the one when he was saying "Say my name," right? That was the guy that
Yeah,
he said
yeah,
"Say
yeah.
my name,"
That's
right?
right. Yeah.
Uh,
What's my name? What's my name? Yeah.
yeah, what's my name? What's my name? Yeah.
He put a beating
So
on him.
yeah, because he kept saying calling him Cassius Clay leading up to the fight and all of that, and he was like, "Yo, all right."
Yeah, he
Cassius
detached his
Clay.
retina in that fight. You know that he detached his retina in
Do you
that
Oh
fight.
guys
wow.
He had.
remember when he fought Oscar Bonavena?
Yep.
When Oscar
I watched the
Bonavena
fight.
fought Ali in the press conference, he said, "Ali chicken, Ali chicken, Clay,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
Clay chicken, you Clay chicken, Clay chicken."
Yeah, well, he apologized to him after Ali knocked him out with that look.
Listen, and what's it called? Guess what? Speaking of Ali and his old fights, Chuck Wepner just got his Rocky statue.
Oh
They did
no,
a Rocky
really?
statue for him in Bayonne. Yup, they got
Oh
a statue for
wow.
him in Bayonne.
Yeah.
I was just watching it on the news this past week. I was like, oh wow, that's kind of crazy. My sister lives in Bayonne. I should go over there and take a picture with
Oh,
the statue.
you should. I've
The
been there
real
a couple
Rocky.
times.
Yeah, he's the
Yeah.
real Rocky.
Well, that's what inspired the script.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like he's the
Yeah,
Bayonne bleeder, they called
that's
him.
right. And boy, did Sonny Liston make him bleed.
He
Ooh,
was bleeding by a lot. Yeah, I mean, he
you,
bled in a lot of his fights. They was called.
do you know Ali got so mad at him for stepping on his foot and then knocking him down? It was counted a knockdown that he carried him to the 15th round before he knocked him out.
Just so he could beat on him some more.
Yeah,
Yo, that's
just
crazy.
just to deprive him of that. Going the distance. Whoa,
Mm-mm-mm.
bless you, my
Excuse me.
man.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So what's next?
Anyway, our trip down memory lane's all well and good. Right. Let me find the next thing. Bloody thing.
I don't know if y'all know, Stanionis and Ortiz is just ordered. WBA just ordered them to fight.
Good.
No, I didn't know that.
Now,
Yeah, I
which
had
are
just put it.
yeah, yeah,
Virgil.
Continue it.
Virgil.
Virgil. Right.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I'm tracking. Well, that's good.
Yeah, I just
Virgil
seen that
needs,
some test, and Stanionis is a good one.
yeah, he needs that. He should be able to pass that test.
Yeah, Stanionis didn't look that impressive against Buatev, however you pronounce his name.
Well,
It was a close fight, but that fight didn't. I didn't see anything where I could be like, all right, he's going to give the top guys a lot of trouble. I didn't
well,
really see that in that fight.
you never know who's going to show up the night of the fight, right? But
Yeah,
Stenios is solid amateur career, solid professional. Isn't he undefeated?
yeah, he was. I want to call him the WBA world champion. That regular champion.
Yeah.
But he might just be the mandatory. But yeah, he's pretty. He's decent. He's a European style fighter. They fundamentally sound. I don't see any too many bells and whistles from him or anything like that. But like he's a solid enough guy that if you not bringing your A game, he'll slip in and beat you.
Yeah. Well, he's got solid fundamentals.
Yeah, and as long as if you keep with that, that's supposed to help you stay in the fight anyway.
Well, it does. It does. Well, that's good. Well, thanks for the update.
Yeah. Yeah, I had
What's
put
up?
that. I seen that just before we got on.
Yeah, good. Did you see that Boots wants to fight anybody in the top 5 right now? He doesn't want any more other fights besides the top 5.
Yeah, that's what he's saying. I wonder who. Like we know he's not fighting Bud. Keith and I believe Keith and Errol Spence is on radar, is on deck. Stanionis and Ortiz has been ordered, so I don't think he's going to fight him. So like, I don't see who's out there. Maybe a Mean Machine. Did he fight Mean Machine yet?
I don't think so.
Yeah, maybe he could fight a Mean Machine or something like that. But Mean Machine is, yeah, maybe he could fight him. Like, I don't see what top 5 guy that's available that he could fight right now.
Well, that's
But
good
like,
to say, but he said it, so that's good.
yeah, you know, especially top contenders, they always going to say they want those big names because that's what they need to get to that. Like, everybody's going to be calling for me soon. I want them to call my name and wanting to fight me as opposed to me trying to chase other people. You know,
Well,
I mean, that's how you would hope the fighters are. It's like, you know,
well, you know,
I
he's
want the
29.
top. Go ahead, sorry.
He's 29-0 at this point. I mean, it's time, you know, to get up there.
Yeah,
It's
without
not to
question.
no, definitely. But yeah, right. Talk is cheap, right?
Yeah, I mean, you know, like I said,
Guys,
when you go ahead,
in the news, Javante Davis and Ryan Garcia have been negotiating a fight for 2023.
I think they agreed. What do you know about it, Nathan? What do you want
Just
to
what it
say
says
about it?
that they've agreed that they're going to fight in 2023, but no date has been confirmed.
Well, probably he's got to work that out. You know, Oscar's got
It's a
to
good
work that
fight
out
anyway.
with PBC. Oscar and Al, they got to come together on that.
this is what I heard is happening. January 7th, Tank Davis is going to fight Hector Garcia, the guy that beat Chris Colbert and beat
Uh-huh.
and beat Gutierrez, and I think he's the WBA world champ at super featherweight right now. Hector Garcia. I think he's going to
Is
fight Tank.
Garcia? Is
Yeah.
Garcia
Go
the
ahead.
interim champion? I forget. Is the interim champion in here?
He's the WBA. He's not an interim. He's a WBA guy. He beat the WBA champion, Roger Gutierrez. When Gutierrez he beat him, so he took his title from him. And so I think that's the guy that they're gonna have fight Tank in January because Tank had went online and was on social media saying that he's gonna fight in DC area January 7th. And he also confirmed after the announcement of Ryan Garcia that he was gonna fight January 7th and then fight Ryan Garcia probably around April or May.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So
we'll see how it goes. You know, they have to win. That's the
yeah,
bottom line.
yeah, he got to win.
So, and if they
Can't,
both look good, it'll be good for the gate. So that's important too. But who do you think wins in this fight?
I think it's going to be Tank Davis.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I mean, he always finds a way to win and
Yeah,
flatten you.
I
His
think
power is amazing.
Do you want me to tell you? Yeah, carry on.
No, you tell us. Come on.
Garcia doesn't have the experience in this fight. That's all it is. Once he's a bit more seasoned, he's going to be able to beat these kind of guys. And he's really not that far off, you know, from being the finished article.
Well, we'll see. A lot of people said
I'm not saying he'll ever
wasn't
beat
ready for
Davis, but
Sonny
I'm saying
Liston.
is he could be on that level.
I think
But
I think he's skilled. I just think at the moment that Tank might be able to sit him down once or twice throughout the fight, and that'll be the difference in the thing. I'm not saying Tank could stop him or anything like that. I just think Tank, it might go to a decision and Tank wins on points because he knocked him down a couple of times in the fight.
The best way I can describe this fight is when Carl Froch fought George Groves. George Groves was green, didn't have the experience. And I think this is the same thing. I think this fight is a couple of years too early for Garcia in terms of his fight development, you know?
Well,
Yeah, it's
Garcia is not
possible.
going to be. Garcia is big for this weight division, and he may be growing out of it soon. So if he's going to go for it, he's got to go for it now. Because
Well,
if
it's
you look
at
at him, he's much bigger than his other opponents.
it's supposed to be at 136, so it's not quite lightweight limit. It's supposed to be at a catch weight of 136. So I don't know what the reasoning for that is, but
Well, it's weight. That's what it is. We'll see what happens, but I think it's a good one, and hopefully it'll be signed. There's a long way to go yet. They could agree in principle, but there's a long way to go.
it's sad, man. It's sad. Boxing gets news that Ryan Garcia and Tate Davis agreed to a fight. So it's supposed to be met with anticipation and eagerness and all this other stuff. There's a lot of skepticism going out there. Like,
Yeah.
we'll see when it happens. We'll see if it happens.
Yeah. Pessimism. We become pessimists.
Yeah, it's like that's so sad. It's like this supposed to be a good day in boxing. Like taking and Ryan Garcia announced they about to fight early in 2023. He's like, hey.
Hey, when does Regis fight? Progress.
Don't he fight next
Soon,
weekend?
right?
I think.
Well, let's
Yeah,
see
the first weekend. I think it's the first weekend in December. If not the 3rd, it might be the 10th.
You better be up for that one.
Yeah,
News.
the pay.
Yeah,
The
Payda's
latest
no joke.
rankings are out.
what?
Michael, the latest rankings are out for the WBC heavyweight rankings.
Yeah, I saw him. Did you see him?
What are they?
Yeah, one is
Tyson
Wilder.
Fury's the champ.
2 is 3 Frank Sanchez, 4 Makhmudov, 5 Joshua, 6 White, 7 Lee, 8 Zohan Kasabutsky, 9 Wallin, 10 Parker, 11 Ortiz, 12 Hunter, 13 Chisora, 14 Hergovich, 15 Jared Anderson. Jared Anderson is the new addition to these rankings.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit too soon, but he's
He
good.
he ain't getting picked to get no title shot yet.
No, but he needs more experience for sure.
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
super
being 15, ideally he should have a couple of like eliminators against some of the other guys in the top 15 before he gets a title shot. Jared Anderson maybe get a fight against Otto Wallin or somebody like that.
Yeah, that makes sense. Hello?
What's next, Nathan?
In other news, Antonio Margarito has been questioned over loaded gloves in 2 more fights.
Oh, that's an old story with Clinton Cintron. Clinton Cintron said this years ago that the only guy to really ever hurt him, he ruined him was Margarito. And we know Margarito was dirty, and now Margarito's broke and depressed, and well, he only has himself to blame. But Clinton Cintron, I think they fought twice, but he said he never been hit like that before. And when you wrap your gloves, man, you could kill somebody.
Yeah, that's way more dangerous than any performance enhancing drugs, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's like getting hit with a brick.
Mm-hmm.
That's real bad.
And
we know Shane Mosley kicked his ass over that. Yeah, in other news.
Yo, it's sad. Hold up, wait. You just said Margarito is broke. Jake Paul, wait. Jake Paul should fight Margarito.
That would be a shit show. The YouTube who cherry picks his opponents, a man who has plaster of Paris. Right. Jake Paul is going to attend the convention, and apparently they're going to give this motherfucker a world ranking.
of what? Of what? Like, 50, 60, what?
They better not give him a top 15 ranking.
They're going to give him a top 15 ranking, apparently.
They better not give him a top 15 ranking.
This is
like
what boxing's come
you
to.
can't. Yeah, you can't. Like, yeah, that they better not give him no top 15
That's
ranking.
comical.
WBC, yeah, because to be honest, Anderson Silva is his most experienced boxer that he has fought. And how many boxing matches Anderson Silva got? Like three, four, maybe five.
I don't know, maybe 4 or 5. Yeah.
Okay, moving on to
And that's
proper
his most
boxing news.
experienced boxer, and he'd be
Yeah.
able to get a damn ranking behind that guy.
Oh
Yeah.
man, that's a good
Everybody else's debuts and
In
all
other
of that.
news, because we're pissed off with YouTube boxing, Teofimo Lopez is going to fight Sander Martin on the 10th of December.
Good.
Pedraza
That'll be a
is
good
out of the
fight.
fight.
Why
Yeah,
is
that's
why
good.
is
This
he out? Why is he out?
it was supposed to be a
Illness.
non-COVID illness.
Ah, okay.
I mean, this might be a better fight. I don't, Sander Martin just beat. He retired Mikey Garcia, so
Right. That and he was strong in that fight, so that could be good. I don't think
yeah. I
he
mean,
has the power that Teofimo has. I
yeah. I was
think
gonna
it'll
say,
be competitive.
I think it'll be competitive until Tio probably like hurts him and either makes the guy withdraw and not, keep defending himself or just get stopped in the later rounds.
Gotcha. Yeah, we'll see how it works out,
Right.
but it'll be entertaining.
Yeah.
What else you got there, Nathan?
I just want to say something, Nathan. You
Yeah. What?
you can elect to not discuss the YouTube topics by not putting them up at all.
That's right. We could ignore those guys.
We could do.
We could just not talk about those news articles.
But it just gives me more, it gives us stuff to take the piss out of. That's why I leave it in.
Yeah, I think it's funny.
Right.
No, I got it. I got
That's why I leave
it.
it in.
Yeah.
That's why I leave it in. Right. In other news, Jared Anderson will be fighting Kingsley eBay very soon.
Kingsley. Who's
Kingsley
Kingsley eBay?
Yeah.
Where's he from?
He's some guy from Ghana, I believe.
Ghana.
Well,
Okay.
Ghana's always produced some really interesting
Yeah, they got
fighters,
some
so,
tough guys.
they're definitely tough. Well, we'll see what happens with that. Jared Anderson's super talented, and he just needs not to get too cocky. He's still getting hit a little bit too much for my liking. But
Yeah,
he
because
seems
I think,
We're going to move on.
yeah, like I think that's what it is. Is cocky. He's like he goes in there thinking he's supposed to win against these guys, and he might not be giving his all or allowing them to hit him or something.
yeah, it's just tightening up his defense. That's all. But he'll do it. What were you going to say, Nathan?
In other news, or this weekend's fights, Jamie Munguia will be fighting against a guy called Coria in a 10 rounds middleweight fight. Again, another easy tune-up fight for Munguia.
Yeah,
Well,
he getting a lot of slack on social media.
Well, he's being protected. Let's face it. He's protecting his record so he could be a middleweight champion.
He's just
But,
waiting for Triple G to vacate. That's nearly all he's doing.
Yeah. Well, he goes up against Charlo, even Triple G. Could get. Well, he'd be too active for Triple G, but Charlo could beat him easy, I think. And Janabek will give him a very hard time.
I think.
Yeah, the only thing.
Yeah, carry on.
Go ahead, Nathan.
Yeah, what were you saying?
Carry on what you're going to say. What you're going to say is more important than what I was going to say.
I was going to say something about him versus Janabek. I mean, they on different platforms. Janabek with Top Rank and he's with the Zone and Golden Boy. But from his last performance, Munguia might be able to give Janabek an issue because of his, he does have a high work rate.
He does. But he's also open.
Yeah, he gets hit a lot. He definitely gets hit a lot.
Yeah, so Janabek could connect and hurt him. And is a southpaw too, right?
Yeah.
So there's some problems there.
I'll be back in a second. There's some pictures with more fights on it that you can probably see. I'll be back in a second.
Because I think like Munguia, it's kind of weird because the middleweight division, they got Charlo there, Triple G is still there, Laura's there, Janabek is there. You got some names that could float around 160, like Eubank could go in between middleweight and super middleweight. Um,
Mhm.
some of those British guys like Smith and Williams, but like this is slim pickings at that weight if you're not getting the champ.
That's right.
It's
That's
not
right.
really going to show too much by beating the guys that who aren't champions.
Mhm. Oh, by the way,
Maybe.
Canelo's out of surgery, and he says he's going to try on the heavy bag in January, but he wants Bivol. He wants a tune-up and then Bivol again.
Yeah,
I
he
think
said
that's
a
a
tune up
big mistake.
in May. Yeah, I think too. Like Bill will beat you. Like you can't beat that guy. I know it may be hard for your reputation or whatever the case is to
Your
hey,
ego, your
yeah,
ego.
yeah, like yeah, that ego, the pride is getting to you, like that you want to avenge the loss, but he might just be better than you. You know what I'm saying? Well, he is
That
better
that
than you.
that is a hard pill to swallow. He beat him fair and square.
Right. And I don't know what Canelo could improve. I mean, Canelo can do more than what he did in the fight, but I don't know if what he could do will be able to be the difference in beating Bivol.
Well, he was blaming the injury. You know that he was
Yeah.
fighting injured for that and GGG, and that's that. So we'll see. But Bivol, I think, will just take him again. You know.
Yeah. Hopefully we get a Beterbiev Bivol fight beforehand, but it don't look like it because they got a Beterbiev has his obligations with y'all and and that's looking like that's going to happen in early 2023. So if that happens early 2023, and Bivol is on the hook to fight Canelo in September,
Right.
then I don't think
In
we'll have a
another, there's
undisputed.
another fight this weekend. There's a few more fights. Arsen Gumilian, the WBA Super Cruiserweight champion, will be fighting a Russian guy called Alexei Igorov.
Super
Who you said?
cruiserweight? Do you mean Bridgerweight?
Yeah, that's what he means.
No, cruiserweight.
Who you
Oh,
said?
Arsen Gumilian. He's the
yeah, I've
Yeah,
seen
WBA
him.
him.
Super World champion.
He's tough.
Well,
He's a tough guy. He's a very tough guy.
Yeah, we'll
So,
see.
yeah, that's cool.
There was another fight this weekend, I thought.
yeah, there's a few more. I'm just going to quickly look at them now.
Nothing really that exciting, though.
Nah,
But
it's no major fights, but it's just a couple of fights on though.
Liam Davis is fighting. Anthony Yard is the only decent fighter on this card.
That's right.
And he's fighting
Anthony
some
Yard is
guys
fighting
ranked
this weekend.
250th in boxer.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this is
So
to keep
it's
him
usual
busy.
That's
before
right.
his title
That's,
shot.
keep him
Yeah,
busy, keep him sharp. That's
yeah.
what you
So
got to
he could.
do.
Mm-hmm. And then
Anthony Yard, he's about as interesting as Paint Dry. The guy's boring. He's got no real skill to him. He's been exposed for what he is, an overprotected guy who can barely beat domestic level people. So the game's up really. There's an article here where he said that that Batavia was just pretending basically. Have you ever heard
I mean,
something
like
crap in?
you would hope that the guys, especially guys that become mandatory challenges, are guys that actually made it to that position deservingly. Like they went
Yeah,
and fought the best European guy, maybe the best North American guy that wasn't a champion to get into that mandatory spot. You shouldn't be able to beat guys that's barely at your at wherever you're from at that level. Like for instance, if you're British, then the British level, you barely beating guys at British level to become a mandatory. That really shouldn't happen.
I tell you how bad I think, because I tell you what I think Joshua Buatsi boxes his head off. You know, at
Yeah.
least he's boxed the decent people. He's boxed for the European. He's boxed the Craig Richards, who is a good measuring stick. Someone who went
Yeah,
to
I would.
you know, do you see what I'm saying? He's a guy.
Yeah, I
Yes.
would agree. I would agree. Buatsi looks more
Carry on.
seasoned than Yard.
Yeah,
Have
Boazzi
you
does.
ever seen a more manufactured fighter? I don't think I've seen a more manufactured fighter who's got a title shot before he's even done anything in this country. You know, I tell you what, I even think Nathan Cleverly was better than him. Seriously.
Well, who's his promoter?
So many flaws.
Frank Warren.
His promoter
Okay, well,
is
Frank
is
is a
Warren.
decent promoter. Frank is a
He
decent
is,
promoter, so
but
that, yeah.
he's doing a good job if he can get this bum a title shot. You know, seriously.
Don't call him a bum now. Be respectful.
No, I get annoyed.
I know you.
Anthony, I hate the guy. I refuse to watch his fights. He's rubbish. We'll move on.
Did you hear that AJ wants Wilder and he wants Fury after he has a tune-up? We talked about this. What tune-up does he need? He doesn't need a tune-up.
He should fight Herjkovic.
Yeah, that'll be good.
For the title, yeah. But
yeah,
from what I've seen of Herjkovic, he'd probably win that, to be honest, from what I've seen of Herjkovic. But Herjkovic is a good fighter.
Yeah, he could beat Herjkovic.
He's a much better boxer than Herjkovic. Herjkovic is strong, though.
He is, but Herjkovic does
puncher.
have a bit of power. Herjkovic is better than what people think. Or maybe he's not. He looked vulnerable in that fight. You know, he got dropped a few times.
And this is the thing, whew, you know this too, Tom. Herjkovic has never been on a stage as big as what AJ has been on. AJ has fought in front of 100,000 people on numerous occasions. He's fought in front of like 70,000 plus. Herjkovic, when those lights are on him or whatever the case is, he might perform, he might not. So that might give the edge to AJ. He might be fighting at home, you know, in England and the UK or something like that. So Herjkovic might have a little bit too much butterflies to overcome.
Yeah, the psychology. I'm going to give you a
look. The guy's 30 years old. Joshua's coming to 34 or 35. I believe, or 33, whatever it is. I believe that Herjkovic. I think if you're hungry like he is, I think that hungriness sometimes is enough. You know, Joshua could even lose this. So I'm not saying he will, but Herjkovic, this guy is a good fighter. You know, he's still he's still fighting. You know.
Without question, he's a good fighter, and I wasn't saying that to try to take anything away from him, and as far as his skill set is concerned, it's just that, you know, psychologically, a lot of people are a little nervous when they under the bright lights.
Yeah,
more so than others.
He wasn't as focused as he should have been with Zhang too.
No,
right, and that was the undercard of the Usyk fight, and that was a big fight with a lot of people watching.
Right, and Zhang just ran out of gas, you know.
Right, exactly. Zhang showed a good account of himself that night. Some people think he could have got the nod.
He could have.
Herjkovic reminds me of somebody from the late 90s. A particular fighter. He reminds me of a young Vladimir Klitschko. He's vulnerable, shit on the chin, you know, but I think he can go on and become a good champion.
Well, Zhang caught him coming in. Well, Zhang caught him coming in, and Zhang's a big guy. Man. He caught him hard coming in, and he dropped him. Yeah. So what else we got? Is that it?
What's up with Tony Yoka? Is he coming back or something?
Oh, he was in those heavyweight rankings, and the guy who beat him, what was it? The former heavyweight champion wasn't even in them. He was like 7 or 8, Tony Yoka, in one of the rankings. Yeah, but he was like 7. But no, the guy who beat him last time, the guy from Australia, the former heavyweight who was on PEDs, got busted for 2 years.
No, that's not Yoka.
Who was that?
Junior Fa.
Oh, I get those two confused. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
you
Yeah,
think about Junior
yeah,
Five,
that's
and
right.
Junior Five from New Zealand too. Yeah, he got
Yeah,
smashed in the first round by Lucas Brown.
yeah, Lucas Brown.
Tony
That
Yoka, yeah,
was
Tony
that must
Yoka
have
lost
been
to Martin Bacoli, like Nathan was saying.
Martin Bacoli. Martin Bacoli.
Okay, now I remember. I had him confused, but that's good. Let's see him. Let's see what he does. Can he
Let me
come
go
back?
to the Bridgeway.
Yeah, we were supposed to
Let's
do our
go to the
rankings.
Bridgeway.
Remember?
Yeah, for
But we
Bridgerweight.
didn't. We didn't do
Yeah.
it. So,
Yeah, we
so
gotta
I'm going
do.
to go.
Well, we gotta do cruiserweight. We're gonna skip Bridgerweight.
I've got the Bridgeweight rankings here. Then we could do the cruiserweight next week.
Okay.
These
Let's see.
cruiserweight rankings. These Jesus. Alexander Teslenko is 15th in the Bridgeweight rankings. 14th is somebody called Chris Zaversky from Australia. Peter Milas, who's a heavyweight. Chris Thompson, Kem Blomqvist, Lagoni Sened-Gashi, a former Derek Chisora opponent. And then number 8 is Alfonso Lopez. 7, Felix Parada. 6, Samuel Kaji. 5, George Arias, the small Muhammad Ali looking middle heavyweight. 4, Adam Bilsaki. 5, Lucas Rozansky. Number 2, Riyad Murphy. And then number 1 is Alan Babic.
Really, Babic.
Alan Babic, is the number 1.
I just put up another article that they ordered Revis to fight somebody, I think.
Yeah, that was in the WBC though, right?
Well, that's the only people that have a Bridgerweight division.
So that's number 1 is Babic, and then it's
Yeah,
Reebok.
how Alan
Yeah, but it
Babic
wasn't
is number
Babic.
1
I don't think it was
when there are
Babic.
no top-rated people. But he's number 1 in the rankings. These are October rankings.
Yeah, no, I got that. I know Babic is the top guy, but I don't think Revis is going to fight Babic. Revis is fighting somebody else. I just read the article. It was in the ring.
I wish this titles, Bridgeweight, is not even on BoxRec. It's on Wikipedia. It's not on BoxRec. There's no record of it.
Yeah, the Ring magazine don't even recognize it.
Yeah, it's silly, to be honest with you. I mean, Wilder could be the champion there easy.
Now, it's sensible in a sense when you having guys that kind of outweigh each other by like maybe 70, 80 pounds in some instances.
Yeah. So why don't we just have them be heavyweights and then have a super heavyweight?
Well, that's essentially what they did, but I guess they didn't want to call it super heavyweight.
Yeah, and these guys, they're not crazy about winning a title like this. They want to be heavyweight champions mostly.
Yeah, and that might be the thing too. Go ahead.
But Oscar Rivas is a world champion, but he's not recognised. It don't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, he's not recognized by the other organizations because they don't have that division. Again, listen, the WBO was in existence for a few years before they were recognized.
16 years before people recognized it.
The junior or super weight classes, some of them had to be, like some of them took a few years before they was recognized, meaning like the super middleweights and the super welterweights.
I remember.
Before we go back to this, has anybody seen the new WBO belts?
No.
They've got a new world title. They've changed all the belts.
Oh, what color is it? Same color?
The same sort of color. Let me see if I can find the video of it.
Yeah, like
so
cruiserweight.
Nathan, I got about 5 minutes before I got to start performing.
Yeah, cruiserweight was another division that was kind of new that they had to, start.
I'll show you these belts and then
getting people used to.
Yeah, it takes time. Change and it takes time. But the thing is, the guys have to be good in those divisions. I mean, we had Evander Holyfield, we have Michael Moore.
Yeah, you usually need, if you're going to break into a new division, you need a guy to carry that new division. Somebody good like Sugar Ray and Tommy Hearns was like kind of like dominated the super middleweight division when it was kind of like, after they left the Hagler fights, they moved up to the heavier divisions. Them fighting at super middleweight kind of gave a little bit more recognition to the super middleweight division because they had Sugar Ray and Tommy Hearns fighting in them divisions.
Right. They had respectability.
Right. So, you would need a guy.
I mean,
Richard Wade, you would need a guy, somebody like a
There's the new belt. Can you see it? Can you see the new belt?
Yeah.
Look.
Where is it? Where did you put it?
It's on the screen.
Hold on.
Yeah, it's on the screen.
Hold on.
Move it over a little bit more, Nathan.
No, I've got it here.
You gotta move it over a little bit more.
There it is.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a nice belt.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks
right,
nice.
I guess we'll finish there then, guys.
All right.
Hey,
we'll be back next week.
Have a good performance, Tom.
Bye, everyone.
Thanks,
you very
everyone.
much.
All right.
Good night.
Take care, guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.
All right.